So in the last classes we have discussed two types of duty loads, that is continuous time duty load and short time duty load. In this class we are going to discuss intermittent duty load. Intermittent duty load. So what is meant by, in the first chapter I have discussed, intermittent duty load means the motor is on for certain amount of time, okay, and before it reaches steady state value and even maximum permissible value, it cools down. It cools down. Correct. And before it cools down and reach minimum value, again it heats. This process repeats. I hope you understood. Correct. So this is how intermittent duty load looks like or works. And this time for which motor is on, we call it as TR, and this time for which is off, we call it as TS. So once again I'll discuss. So from some minimum value, from theta min, the motor heats because it is loaded and it reaches a value theta max, and before it reaching its maximum permissible limit theta PER, it cools down and reaches to theta minimum, and there also it will not settle, it will not reach minimum permissible value. Before that again it heats. So heats, cools, heat, cools, heat, cools, like this it goes. Now let us write heating equation. So what is heating equation? Heating and finally it reaches a value theta max from starting from theta minimum. So let us write equation. What is the formula for theta max? Theta SS into 1 minus exponent of theta max is reached within TR time, exponent of minus TR by, here you have two time constant, one is heating time constant, other is cooling time constant. So this I will call it as tau R, correct, plus initial value. So initially it starts from theta minimum, exponent of minus TR by tau R. Listen, here I cannot neglect this term because before it cools down to minimum value, again it starts heating. Last class you remember I told you can neglect the second term in short time duty load, because why? It is happening for small time and it will not be able to reach theta, this value theta SS, right? And also this theta 1, correct, it is very time, cooling time is so high that next cycle when it starts heating, by the time it will reach theta 1 which is very less. Here you can't do because heating and cooling both are small interval of time, so I can't neglect, remember that point. Now for cooling, it reaches to where? Theta min. So there I have a term theta SS dash 1 minus exponent of minus cooling TS is the time, and time constant I will call it as TS, plus initial value where it starts cooling from theta max, theta max, exponent of minus TS by tau s. Listen, this theta max is so high, and you remember this theta ss dash is so small because cooling and going to very small value. Got it? No. And this term can be neglected compared to this theta max because theta ss is cooling and reaching even below theta minimum, whereas theta max is very high and it exists for a very short duration of time. So this term can be neglected. So I will substitute back in this. See, theta min, this theta min I will substitute. Okay, as this theta max in terms of theta max. So what I will get? Theta max is equal to theta max is equal to theta max is equal to theta ss 1 minus exponent of minus tr by tau r plus theta min. Instead of theta min, what I got? Neglecting the first term, I got theta max e raised to minus ts by tau s. Then in that formula, we had e raised to minus tr by tau r. I hope you understood. Now I will take theta max to this side. Theta max into 1 minus e raised to, see, this is e raised to a into e raised to b. E raised to a into e raised to b is e raised to a plus b. So minus I will take out. So ts by tau s plus tr by tau r. I hope you understood. Correct, no? Correct. That is equal to theta ss into 1 minus exponent of minus tr by tau r. Correct. From that, I'll be okay. So from this, I'll find theta ss by theta max. So theta max, with that what this term is there, no? This full term. 1 minus exponent of minus of ts by tau s plus tau tr by tau r full divided by 1 minus exponent of minus tr by tau r. I hope you understood. Now I will think about this theta ss and theta max. Okay. So theta ss is reached by loading how much? kpr. Okay. And theta max is by loading pr. So corresponding losses I will take P1S divided by P1R. And remember, P1R is what? Last class. PC plus PCU. That is PCU into PC by PCU plus 1. Remember, no? This term we took as what? Alpha. So PCU into alpha plus 1. Now P1S is what? PC remains same. PCU into, this is for K PR by PR whole square. So that is PCU common. So PC by PCU plus PR goes K square. So next step, what is this PC by PCU? PC by PCU can be written as alpha. Am I right? Yes. So it is nothing but alpha. So we got theta SS by theta max as P1S by P1R. So what is P1S by P1R? P1S is PCU into alpha plus K square. PCU is common, so it will cancel. And P1R is what? Alpha plus 1. PCU cancelled in both numerator and denominator. Now you have this equation, no? Theta SS by theta max. So you substitute here. Alpha plus K square by alpha plus 1. Alpha plus K square by alpha plus 1 is, remember, no? What is the formula? 1 minus exponent of minus TR by 2R plus TS by tau S divided by 1 minus exponent of minus TR by tau R. Previous equation. Got it? No? So this is the equation. Now alpha plus K square I will find. So cross multiply. Alpha plus 1 into 1 minus exponent of minus TR by 2R TS by plus TS by tau S divided by 1 minus exponent of minus TR by tau R. I hope you understood. Now I will bring alpha from this side. Instead of writing alpha this side, I will bring to this side as full minus alpha. I hope you understood. From that, K is root of alpha plus 1 into 1 minus exponent of minus TR by tau R plus TS by tau S full divided by 1 minus exponent of minus TR by tau R full minus alpha. So this formula is to be by hearted. Then I told last time also, when PC and PC are not given separately or even maximum efficiency is not given, we can't find alpha. In that case, you have to take alpha as how much? 0. So that this becomes this divided by this. So this becomes 1 and this becomes 0. That you have to remember in the problem. Now let us try to do one problem. Question is, you read that note. A motor has heating time constant, that means tau R is 60 minutes. And cooling time constant tau S is 90 minutes. Okay, 90 minutes. When run continuously, continuous rating is given. Continuous, it is 20 kilowatt. So continuous 20 kilowatt means short time, and intermittent time it can be overloaded by a factor of K. Final temperature is means theta max 40 degrees Celsius. There are two questions. When motor can deliver for 10 minutes, means TR is equal to 10 minutes, followed by a shutdown period very large enough for it to cool. That means TS is given as infinity. That means we don't have to consider this. This can be considered as previous class short time duty. Short time duty. First part of the question is short time duty with PC by PCU. That PC and PCU are two losses are not given, and even not given maximum efficiency also. Last class, in the last problem, I given maximum efficiency. Maximum efficiency is given indirectly to find a PC by PCU ratio. Here, PC by PCU ratio directly not given, indirectly efficiency also not given. Last class I have given maximum efficiency from which you can find PC by PCU. So indirectly PC by PCU was given. Here PC by PCU is directly not given, maximum efficiency not given means indirectly also not given. So take alpha as 0. So you know how to find K is equal to root of alpha 0 plus 1 divided by last case short time duty e raised to minus TR by tau R plus alpha is 0, no? So you substitute 1 minus 1 by 1 minus exponent of rise time is how much? 10 minutes, 10 by 60. So this answer comes out to be 2.55. Okay. Now, this given is continuous load. So continuously if you are loading 20 kilowatt, short time you can overload by extra load 2.55. So permitted load is continuously 20 kilowatt. If it is running for short time, I can overload it by a factor of K, 2.55. So answer is 51 kilowatt. Now see the second part of the question. Second part of the question, it is given, see TR, it is run for 10 minutes. It is run for 10 minutes with the tau R rising heating time constant is 60 minutes, no? Yes. And then it is cooled by shutdown for 10 minutes, whereas tau S is 90 minutes. I hope you understood data how to take. Now it is intermittent, because why it is intermittent? Heating is also there, cooling is also there for short time. So use the formula K is equal to, again here also alpha is not given directly and indirectly. Directly given means they will say PC by PCU is this much. Indirectly means they will give maximum efficiency. Both are not given, so take alpha equal to 0. So what is the formula? Formula is alpha plus 1, 0 plus 1. You remember the formula, no? Alpha plus 1, so 0 plus 1. So what is the formula? 1 minus e raised to minus TR by tau R, TS by tau S. Correct. 1 minus exponent of minus TR by tau R minus alpha. So alpha is 0 means you don't have to take this. And alpha plus 1 is 0 plus 1 is 1. So just substitute in this formula. So what is that? K is equal to root of 1 minus exponent of minus TR 10 minute tau R 60. Then TS is also 10 minute, but tau S is 90. Divide by 1 minus e raised to minus TR 10 by tau R 60. Use calculator to find this value. You are going to get 1.257. So motor can be overloaded by a factor of 1.257. So continuous rating is given. Continuous is 20 kilowatt. So permitted load, continuously if it is 20 kilowatt, we can overload to get a maximum permissible temperature. So 20 into how much overloading? By a factor of K, 1.257. So that is 25.14 kilowatt. One important point to be remembered, when you find continuous rating, we have to do short time rating divided by K. Next, second case, like last problem, we have done that. Now in this case, we have to find short time rating, that means permitted rating, we have to do continuous into K. I hope you understood. When you find continuous rating, your question is to find continuous rating, you have to do short time rating divided by k. Short time rating means permitted rating divided by k. If you are given in this question, you are given continuous rating. When the continuous rating is given, short time rating is overloaded rating. So continuous rating into k. You understood now? Last question and this question difference. Last question they are given short time rating. Short time rating, if it is given, continuous rating is short time rating divided by k. Here just opposite. They are given continuous rating. If continuous rating is given, short time overloaded rating will be continuous rating into k. That point you have to remember. That's it.